If you've been watching the Canadiens lately, you might have noticed that this topic is being brought up over and over again. Where does Brendan Gallagher fit for the future of the Montreal Canadiens? Is he running out of runway? When everyone's healthy, do they even have a spot for him? And honestly, on the surface, I get it. Gallagher only has 3 points in his last 15 games. The team is battered by injuries. Reinforcements are coming. They're coming from within. Dach could be back soon. Laine could be back soon. Evans is going to be back soon. Anderson is coming back soon. This lineup could look different in a short amount of time, and certainly will look a lot different once the Olympics have concluded. So today I wanted to dig into the question properly, not emotionally, not nostalgically, but a little bit more realistically. And by the end of this video, I think you'll see why it's way too early to count Brendan Gallagher out. Let's talk about it.
I got clouds to the left and tokens to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. Oh yeah.
So I think it's good that we start with context, because context matters right now in a big way. The Canadiens are playing through a stretch right now where they're missing key middle six guys, defensive structure in the lineup, and frankly, just lineup stability, period. The team has been duct taped together nightly, basically. Lines are changing game to game. Roles are shifting on the fly. Some players are being asked to do jobs that they're not even really necessarily suited for. And that does matter when you evaluate production. When you see Brendan Gallagher have 3 points in 15 games, that's a number that exists kind of in chaos, not within stability, not within the plan. Gallagher is able to play at a resting level, but he's a kind of a creature of habit. He's a rhythm player, he's a role player, he's a chemistry player. He needs to find his rhythm and role within his line. And if it's not working for him, it's not going to work for him. Which brings us to our most interesting development. Phillip Danault is back in Montreal. And while that's a big deal for faceoffs, a big deal for taking some of the heat off of players like Suzuki in terms of the penalty kill, in terms of being put out for hard deployments at key times, it's also quietly a huge deal for Brendan Gallagher. We've seen this before. Danault is a responsible, defensively aware, puck-retrieving center who thrives at managing the middle of the ice. He supports his wingers, buys time, and plays a predictable, structured game. And I think that structure is exactly what Gallagher needs. He's played less than 40 minutes so far with Danault. Keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that Gallagher's game has never really been about creativity with the puck or controlled zone entries. It's about timing, forecheck pressure, net front chaos. It's about winning battles that don't necessarily show up on the highlight reels. So when Gallagher knows where the puck is going to be, he's still effective, and he hasn't had that a lot recently. But Danault can give him that, and I hope that he gets there soon. The chemistry isn't instant. I think it's important to say that it's going to take time, but it's familiar at least. It's functional. It gives Gallagher a path back to relevance. Now, here's where things could get interesting. Gallagher and Danault probably work best if they had some sort of offensive talent on the line. Someone who can stretch coverage, punish defenders for collapsing, turn Gallagher's net front presence into actual goals. So right now that piece hasn't been fully locked in. For a while there, Gallagher was stuck with Evans and Anderson. It felt like putting on somebody else's toe socks for me. And he's been playing with Bolduc for a significant amount of time. Even earlier in the season, they tried Bolduc and Gallagher together. But currently he's been playing with Bolduc and Danault. I feel like that piece isn't necessarily locked in. And that's where the reinforcements kind of make things interesting. I'd like to see Gallagher and Danault continue together, but what about someone like Kirby Dach or Patrik Laine? Imagine Danault stabilizing the middle, Gallagher causing havoc down low, retrieving the puck, and then Laine getting into a spot, drifting into a spot and unloading. Let's be honest, that's not going to be your dream line, but it is a line that can tilt the ice and feast on softer matchups. Danault is the safety net. There's no doubt. He's the safety net of that line, and he'll be the safety net of his line no matter what. Laine is a defensive liability. I've been on record saying this before. It's good when you pair Laine with Evans or with someone like Danault. If you're not going to have him in that, in a top six role where I kind of think he's viable. The only place that he's really viable, I don't know. That's a whole nother topic. Fact is, Laine doesn't need to drive the line. He just needs touches. And Gallagher has made his career out of creating touches. Let's talk about Kirby Dach now. Dach brings something different. He can carry the puck into the zone. He offers puck protection, size, playmaking ability. If Dach, let's say Dach rotates in that line to maybe gain some of his confidence back or to take some of the pressure off of having to center a line, suddenly Gallagher doesn't need to carry in transitions. He just has to finish plays and disrupt the defenders. And we've seen Dach succeed when he's surrounded by players around him who just simplify the game. Gallagher does that. So it's always going to be around Gallagher, not necessarily fitting into a top 6 role. It's about building a line around him that works, that can come out with some sort of a groove. So when those reinforcements come back, it's going to be time for experimentation, because right now, Alex Texier looks like he's earned his spot, possibly even on the top line for at least a little while. That matters a lot because it means the Canadiens don't need to force Gallagher into minutes he shouldn't be playing anymore. He's not a PK guy, and I hate to say it, he's not necessarily a power play guy either. Have him play 12 to 14 minutes a night. Give him a defensively reliable center, a shooter, or a puck carrier, and a consistent usage, and I think his impact looks different. Part of me says Danault should be reserved for penalty kills. So if that line isn't getting deployed 17 minutes a night or something like that, that's okay. And that brings us into another component of the topic. Gallagher's value isn't strictly measured in points anymore. It's measured in offensive zone time, drawing penalties, wearing down defenders, setting emotional tone. On a young team that is learning how to win consistently, that still matters. I think that allows him to maybe have a 15-game stretch where he only gets 3 points, but we prefer to improve that. No doubt, when the lineup gets healthy, there will be some difficult decisions. Somebody will lose minutes. Somebody's going to lose their spot. Somebody will slide down the lineup. But Brendan Gallagher doesn't suddenly become useless. In fact, with more structure, with more defined roles, better line mates, this is an environment where Gallagher has historically been at his best. Not flashy, he's not dominant, he's effective. So if you're looking at Gallagher and thinking the end is nigh, I urge you to have a little bit more patience with that. Slow down a little bit. The team is injured. The lineup is unstable. Gallagher hasn't been fitting with those chaos elements, but with a little bit of stability with his buddy Danault back on a line where a new variation has opened up for him, I think that he still has a role on the team. He's not the player he was in 2017. He's 33 years old. We know this league can cater to older players. His time's not over yet. Don't count Brendan Gallagher out just yet. That's my message. I hope that was at least thought-provoking. You might have different opinions. I think that the popular opinion is that Gallagher's usefulness has been exhausted. I've been wrong before. Part of me doesn't see that he's giving up. And Martin St. Louis has said time and time again, if you're not giving up on yourself, he's not going to give up on you. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you guys so much. So you guys know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with search results or something like that, I think. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.
Bonsoir.